I don't mind.
Yeah. So, okay, everybody. Well, look, welcome to another Tuesday live training here with the One Source Personal Development Network. Today we have a special presenter, Shaun Parker. Many of you will know Shaun. Shaun is one of our, uh, well, I guess, uh, one of the original in the UK joint venture partners. And he's been with us. How long? It's just short of 2 years now, isn't it,
Yeah,
Shaun?
just coming up to 2 years now.
Just coming up to the 2 years. So, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to turn it over to Shaun. Shaun's going to be presenting today. He's going to be presenting on one of my favorite subjects as far as the compound effect. So I know Shaun has put a lot of work into the presentation. He's a big advocate of the compound effect. But more than just talking about it, I know he knows firsthand how to implement it into your life and how to actually use it to produce results. Because I've been working with Shaun, like I say, for 2 years now, and I know that's exactly what he's done. When Shaun and I first started working together, I won't share too much of his story, but he was just at the stage that he was looking to create some lasting change in his life, and he did it slowly but surely, inch by inch almost. Um, but the effects did compound, and he's lost a substantial amount of weight. His knowledge has grown in leaps and bounds. His presenting skills, his confidence, I can honestly say, based on just my interaction with him. But yeah, I really do. I believe Shaun is a living, breathing example of just what consistent action, small little microscopic consistent action can do over a period of time. So look, I'm not gonna bore you with too much more. I'm gonna turn it over to Shaun. I'm gonna hang out in the background, and I think Shaun, you're gonna do a Q&A or something at the end of this, so maybe I'll join in at that stage.
No problem. Thank you, Patrick, for the lovely introduction. You actually covered most of my presentation as well, but thank you. Anyway, I'd like to welcome you all to Tuesday training, which I'm glad I'm actually doing. Well, I'm actually a little bit nervous, but not as nervous as I thought it would be. Anyway, to do it today, I'm going to do a book review of the compound effect, well, how it affects me. As you probably know, Darren Hardy wrote this book back in 2010, and he's the editor of Success magazine. So it was actually to promote that magazine at the time. I bought the original book, must have been 11, 12 years ago, and I completely forgot about it until if you look at the picture there, the Compound Effect 10th anniversary edition. My niece gave me that about 18 months ago, and you can see all the pink tabs is where I've made all my notes in the book. I love this book, and it's. I'm not going to go too far into it, but I'm going to just pick up some bits and pieces that I really do like, and they have reading the book again over the last few weeks has actually highlighted a lot of things I took for granted and I stopped doing and I've started doing again. And it is making a nice change to my life again, which I do really like. Anyway, let's just go on about just go through a little bit more. Anyway, so what is compounding? From a financial point of view, this is the process where interest is credited to the initial money you either borrowed or you've got in an account. And then there's interest paid on top of the interest, so it just compounds on top and on top and on top. However, in this content, it's all about small changes adding up and creating big changes over a period of time. They're either positive changes or negative changes. Anyway, let's just have a look at an example of this. I love this one, the magic penny. They have two siblings, Charlie and Jenny, who were left a nice amount of money in the will from one of their uncles. They had two choices: to take 3 million up front or 1 cent, that's 1 penny, that doubles every day for 31 days. Sorry about that. So
Who was it, Shaun?
I sorry, it's just work. I've just turned it off now. I do apologise about that.
I hate when that happens.
I turned my personal phone off, but I forgot to turn the work one off.
You're right. Though we can edit that bit out.
Yeah, please do. Anyway, Jenny, being the youngest sibling, instantly jumped at the 3 million dollars up front, and she got on a flight and she moved to the Caribbean, and she was there away drinking her rum and all of that. Charlie, however, chose the magic penny. He actually chose to actually take the 1 cent, and let's just have a look at exactly what happened here. So let's see. Day one, Charlie got 1 cent. Jenny took 3 million, and as you know, she's already in the Caribbean and she's drinking away her rum cocktails and having fun, spending her money as well, faster than it's come to her. Anyway, they agreed to keep up in contact. So after week one, Charlie rang Jenny, and Jenny said, "I've still got 3 million," and Charlie said, "I've got 64 cents." So that's after week one. Let's see what happened after week two. After week two, Charlie's got a whole $81.92. Jenny's still got a $3 million, and she's living up the life of Riley in the Caribbean. And a week later, oh, it's starting to make some difference here. Charlie's up to $10,485.76. Jenny's still got the 3 million, but that 3 million is actually being spent. So she's probably down to about 2,700,000 because she drinks a lot of rum, you see. Anyway, let's go on to week four. So on week four, this is where it starts to make a difference. You see, on day 28, Charlie's now up to 1.3 million and $42,177.28. Jenny's got a 3 million, so she's still ahead of him out there. And there's only 3 days to go, so you don't think he's running a catch up, but you wait until you see what happens next. This is the magic of compounding. On day 29, you're up to 2.6 million, day 30, 5.3 million. And then, whoa, look what happens on day 31, 10.7 million compared to 3 million that Jenny got. So Jenny took the easy win, as a lot of people do. They expect instant gratification, instant success, and they don't want to wait or work for the actual outcome. Whereas Charlie waited his 31 days. He now has 3 times what Jenny has for a quick win. I really do love that, and it's a great way of expressing what compounding actually is. Anyway, I want to just show you a second one, which is more. I won't. I'll just go through the one slide because it's more to do with. Look at there. Look at it, Charlie. There, it's happy, over the moon there. But this compounding example too. This is all about calories, and this resonates with me. This is what Patrick said earlier about. I actually completely changed my life in the last 18 months, 2 years. And it's all to do with just actually making simple little changes to my diet, my exercise regimes, and but I just want to show you this. I really do love this. So we're going to take a person eats a bar of chocolate or a bag of crisps, so say. So a bar of chocolate, a bag of crisps, about 150 calories. So if you was to cut that out daily over 2 years, 730 days, you're cutting out 109,500 calories. 3,500 calories is approximately £1, or for us Europeans, about 400 grams in either weight gain or weight loss. So over a period of 2 years, you actually lose roughly 31 pounds or 14 kilos. So that's 7 kilos a year. That's a hell of a difference. And vice versa, eating the additional snack and so forth, you're going to put that weight on. So if you just have this little snack and you're watching your telly, you're watching your Netflix, and you have that snack, think about that snack before you have it, because although it doesn't affect you at that point in time when you're eating it, over a period of time, that will have a negative effect on your entire health and everything else you do in life. Look at this. You just put on the weight and they just appear. You think it's just happened overnight, but it builds up over a period of time. And we're only talking 18 months to 2 years before you start seeing real negative effects of weight loss and weight gain. Weight gain is one of the worst things because it affects your entire health, and that your health affects everything else in your life, your personal relationships, your finance, everything. It does get affected by this. And so this is something you should really think about: is do you actually need that snack? Take 100% responsibility for it. Do you actually want it? What's it going to cause you to have that snack? It's okay to have a snack here and then, but don't go and have it every day and think, I'm just going to watch the telly, I'm just going to watch the news here, and I think, oh, I'm just going to have that bar of chocolate, or I'll have a pack of crisps. Think, have something healthier. Switch that bad habit for a good habit. Think about having an apple, a bit of fruit, or even nuts. Nuts are good, but only make sure you have it in reasonable amounts. You don't want to replace one bad habit with another bad habit. But as you can tell, this is something that's really personal to me because, like I said, over the last 18 months, I've lost 53 pounds. And now that I'm stuck in this American state, I'm trying to think what that is in kilos off the top of my head. It's about 34, 35 kilos, which is a lot of weight, excess baggage I've got. They say I can sit in a normal chair these days. Anyway, I'm probably talking too much because I do like this subject. Anyway, what is the compound effect about the book? The book is basically about making small choices and making the right choice, and also making some changes become compound and have large impacts over time. You got to remember it could be a good impact, it could be a bad impact. There's no magic bullet in life. There's no shortcuts to success. It's all about putting the fundamentals to work. It's all about taking action and reaping long-term benefits. And I'm not going to read that one because I might say this wrong, the one down the bottom. Anyway, as you're going to, we all suck at making major changes in our life. So think about the small changes you can make. These small changes all mount up, and they do make a huge difference to your life over time. So just think of three things now that you could do to change something in your life. Think about your health. Think about your job or your business. What do you want to do for one source personal development? What three things could you do today to promote that business? How can you actually bring people into there so they can it'll have a compound effect on your business over the next 6 months? Just think about that for 2 seconds, or maybe three. I won't go longer than three because I'll get in trouble anyway. Anyway, I love this slide, as you can see. This is all about simple decisions and the actions. If you make the right decisions over a period of time, you'll have this sudden surge towards success and your best life you can have. But if you make bad decisions, so vice versa, you will actually have a bad outcome at the end of the day. But don't worry, you can start from anywhere and you can actually reverse it. You can get to the nice smiley face at the top and not Mr. Glum down the bottom here. Every choice matters. Just think about things before you do it. Think about what's the benefit, what's the pros and cons of this decision. And then also learn to track actions and habits. And as you know, we already do that with our lovely dashboard. And that's what your daily habits should be. You should be tracking them and making sure if something doesn't work, change it and then put something else in there. But just make sure you're tracking it every day. And I would say if you've got something like you want to lose weight, make sure you write everything that you put into your body. If you're addicted to spending money, write everything you spend, everything you buy. Before you buy it, write it down and then put a reason there. Why do you actually need this? Think about it and develop daily routines. And I would say always start with a morning routine. My morning routine is pretty boring, really. I get up, I this is strange. I actually get up. I do walk kicking, so I do that first thing in the morning. Then I go for a 20-minute walk, and I walk indoors for 20 minutes. I do speed walking, and then the next thing I do is I do a brainstorming session. I write in a book. I write for 15 minutes. I then go upstairs and then have my shower and all that, and then I come downstairs. I have a coffee, and then I go through my emails, or what I generally do most days, and I did stop doing it for a while when I had bad eyesight. I said I'm getting old, you see. Um, I I I look at YouTube videos, and I pick something that I can send out to all the people in my network. So I send that out. Try to send that every morning. I try to do that between 6:30 and 7. Sometimes I'm later. At weekends, I tend to leave it a bit later because I don't want to wake people up. But I still do send it to certain people, and certain people come back to me straight away. Some people come back 3, 4 hours later, but they all say thank you. But that's a part of my daily routines, and that really helps me. And I have an evening routine, which I do certain things as well. But I would always say develop a daily routine, at least a daily routine. If you can have daily routines, and then start working on weekly routines to make sure that you're getting the most out of life and you're learning to keep all of your habits on par with what you actually want. And remember, be 100% personal responsible for everything you do. I don't just mean the good things, but also the bad things. You can't change the environment around you, but you can actually make the most of what you have, and you can make sure that whatever you do is the right thing for that. And build momentum. Momentum. That's a big thing. I can't say that word sometimes. It's a bit like ho. I can't say ho either, but that's another thing. We can go into that. Anyway, a routine is exceptionally powerful. Darren Hardy. I had to put that in there because that's one thing he goes on about. Routine is developing routines is something you need to do, and it does help you, and it'll actually make you more successful in the things you want to do. And let's have a look at the next one. All right, choice and habits. Choices plus behavior plus habits plus time is the compound effect, which is just a standard equation. I'm sure you've heard of that one before. That your choices make the difference between your choices, your behavior, and your habits actually do make a lot of difference over time where you're going to. So if you put the right sort of carry on with your most important habits, which are all your good habits, you'll actually find that you become more and more successful as the time goes on. It's nothing new. The whole book is actually it's ideas we've seen before, but they're all good. And I do like this. Smart, small choices, consistently timed, radically different. They make a difference to your life over time. The real cost of a $4. I like this. Did Patrick like this? But Patrick doesn't pay for his coffee like this. He uses instant, but you never know. He may have bought it when he was. He may have bought it before. But the real cost of a $4 coffee over 20 years. Look at that, $51,000. What could you have done with that $51,000 rather than buying yourself a coffee every day? And to be honest, a lot of people here buy coffee every day. And what's the cost of coffee these days? £3, £4. So you could save yourself £50,000 in reality if you cut out that little thing and you put that money aside somewhere. It's about making small changes. Focus on less on big changes and more on the small changes around you. Try and just get lots of little things going. And you don't have to do it all at once. Just add one thing at one time, another thing a few weeks later, and just keep building up on with these little changes. The small choices, the ones that you think do not matter or therefore not conscious when making them, can derail your life and your progress towards your goal. So think about things before you do it. And that's what I think is actually getting that mindset to actually second guess yourself. Just don't just jump into something. Just actually think about what you're doing. And then the next bit here is take responsibility for your life. So everything you do, think about it, do it. And there's no such thing as a quick fix. Small actions, huge results. I love that. Hard work is always needed. Never forget that. Become conscious of your actions. So always remember, awareness is a big thing. We all forget about it sometimes. That we're not fully aware. And cutting out little things, like I say, cutting out that chocolate bar, or it could be like a fizzy drink. Fizzy drinks not very good for you. Over time, they can rot your teeth. They can actually there's more sugar in fizzy drinks that will actually cause you lots more problems than what you think. And then, like I said, 100% you need to be personally responsible for everything you do. And what I want to do here is it's about I want everyone to think about, like I said, is think about something you want to do now and you've put off for such a long time, and actually write down three actions you're going to take now. And I don't mean tomorrow, I mean now. It may be something simple like you're going to write a diary entry and you're going to actually put some data in there what you want to do, make a plan out what you're going to do tomorrow. But don't keep putting stuff off. That's what the whole thing about the compound effect is. It's all about building good habits and doing away with bad habits, and also about you're going to have to find your why. You look at it, and I love this statement: garbage in, garbage out. That's what a lot of people forget, is that they think they're going to just get success by just doing simple little things and just doing the same thing and not willing to change or to actually move forward with anything. Um, but I would also say, like I said, the big one is take ownership and actually take some sort of action when you're going along. And always write down if you've got a problem, write it down, think about it, and then actually that action it from there. Sorry, I have to admit I've just lost my track of thought then. So it's all about choices, behavior, and your habits, which is actually going to give you the outcome. And that's what the compound effect. It's not so much about compounding; it's about compounding small actions to actually get big results. And that's how you get success. Is by actually doing all those little tiny small things all the time. But what I will do, and I would like to, at some point, I will send you all a link to a free download of the compound effect, which is a about a 20-page document that Darren Hardy has got free on his website, which you can actually download. And what I like about this, it's not just, it's about actually doing a complete analysis of your core values. It's about how the compound effect can work for you. It's about putting a weekly charter in there so you're actually assessing yourself. It's about being thankful for the good things in life, so you have your gratitude and all of that. And I'm staying on this one long time because I just realised I've cut out 6 of my slides that I actually thought I still had in. So what I want to do is make sure you actually understand what your core value. We all know that. And where does this fit in with one source personal development? The first thing is that we all have a purpose statement. We all track daily actions on our dashboards. We have this network. So if we have any problems, we can actually reach out to other people in the network, and they're your mentors that you can actually then work on with as well. And let's face it, we have a brilliant set of tools, and that's what the compound effect is. It's about just using the right tools or the right situations to actually bring yourself forward and to make sure you're the best. So, I think I hate to say that that's it. I do apologise. That didn't go as long as I thought it would.
No, I think it actually went quite well. Um, I tell you what, I just looking at a couple of the things that you showed there that I found extremely interesting. First off, I mean the magic penny. I know I've heard that before, but it's one thing to hear it, but to really sit down and think about that. 31 days, just doubling a penny a day
It is.
comes
I
out.
have
It's
to.
just mind blowing.
I have to admit, my accountancy brain doesn't actually think it's that simple, but it is.
I know,
Yeah.
even when even though I knew where it was going because I've heard it, when you start out and you're talking after a week, it's like whatever 64 cent or whatever
Yeah.
ridiculous amount of money it is. Your mind can't even fathom how is this ever going to be more than 3 million. You're already 25% of the way there. But yeah, that's just exactly right, and that's so often the case with what we do here at One Source. I mean, you start out and you're trying to create lasting change, and you start out trying to lose weight or create a new habit or to improve your relationships. And it just seems like you're making no progress. You're making no progress at all. It's like moving at a snail's pace. But then all of a sudden, things start to happen. And then the rate of the speed really starts to pick up. Momentum gets behind you, and you start seeing these major changes. So yeah, that's one that really stuck out for me. And as far as the three things that you're right. If you just made a decision, a committed decision right now to, to three things, because we all know three things in our life, simple things that we've been putting off. But if you could just make that committed decision, and that's the key. It's got to be a committed decision that you're going to do it no matter what, whether you feel like it or not. And you're going to be consistent with that little action, and you're not going to give up after, just like the magic penny. You're not going to give up after a week or 2 weeks or even 3 weeks. You're going to keep going, and you will have that effect, but it'll take a while. But like myself, I just very quickly, when you were saying it there, I wrote down one thing that I know, and I've been saying it forever.
Go for it.
I gotta stop watching. No, I won't give up coffee. But I have to give up CNN. I have to stop watching so much U.S. politics. I'm like consumed by it. I watch it every single day. And I think about it. I probably spend a good hour, an hour and a half a day just listening to it in the background or keeping tabs to see what's happened in the last hour or so. We were talking earlier about my Google Home. I was like, I'm always saying, Google, give me the latest news and everything, in the background all the time. Because I'm just really, and it's a waste. It's just a pure, and it's all negative. But I know if I was to stop doing that, the effects that I would have, that if I could use that time more wisely. Another one that I've been saying I need to do, I need to cut down on my carbs. I eat too many carbs. I got the calories and the exercise and the hydration. Yeah, it's my worst thing. And brown bread is my biggest one. Like, I love brown bread. I start out every morning. I have a piece of brown bread, toasted, not a big piece, thin slice, but it's still all carbs. And then what do? I have a banana with it, which is just more carbs. So I'm eating way too many carbs, and I know that it's having a negative effect on me. So I need to give up. I don't have to eliminate carbs altogether, but I think I'm going to eliminate brown bread. Just make a committed decision. Maybe have a boiled egg instead of some protein, instead of having that carb first thing in the morning. And then one simple one that I've been saying forever that I start to do and I always give up is I've got to get much more effective with my social media. It's one, I don't know, I just got this block about social media. And it's like, I know, because it's just like the compound effect. You don't see instant results. You go out there and you do a few things, you do a couple posts, and you don't see a bunch of new subscribers. But it's that consistent action, posting on a consistent basis, fine tuning, getting, and honing your skill as far as creating the post, or even on YouTube, getting, creating better content, getting better with the keywords as far as the time of days that you're posting, and the consistencies, and the creating the thumbnails and all that stuff. It's all part of it, and it's all time consuming. But if I had the hour and a half a day that I'm listening to CNN, I know I can get a lot of that done. So those are the three things that I know I'm going to make a committed decision, and so I'm really grateful you had this today. Also, too, I thought it was a really good example what you said there about the coffee, the $4 a day. $4 a day seems like nothing on a cup of coffee. And I know so many people. I always remember, I won't say his name, not that anybody knows him, but a guy I used to know, a friend of mine, was a brilliant sales guy, but the nicest way to say it is he was lazy. He was full of talent, but he just would hate to go out working. And he was always struggling to get, with money, always broke all the time, having a hard time paying his bills and everything else. And he used to come around, I used to talk to him, but every time he'd come around, he'd have a cup of, it's called Chocolate Browns. It's a local coffee place in Tullamore where my office was. He'd come to the office and he'd have a cup of Chocolate Browns. And I know for a fact that it's like $3.75. And I know it wouldn't be the only one he'd have every day. He'd probably have two or three of them, every day. And if he would have just done exactly what you said, right now he'd be sitting on about 50, 60K that he's probably spent in that amount of time. But again, that's the power of compounding. But yeah, no, I found that really informative, Shaun. I know you might have thought you went a bit fast, but I thought it, because you had it packed full of some really good stuff, and they're all things that everybody can implement that make a major impact. And I would encourage everybody to go ahead and go to that website and download that 20-page the tools that they have on there. I know I looked at it a good while ago. It is very good. So yeah, I would definitely encourage you to go ahead and download that. So that's my thoughts on it. Anybody else got anything they want to share?
That was a great presentation, Shaun. And you know that I absolutely love the compound effect and Darren Hardy, because I know we've discussed it before. And also, since I read the book, I've kind of tuned in. I get the messages from Darren. They're called Darren Daily. So I get them every morning. The motive. You know what I think about. Tony Robbins is a toned down version for me. It's a bit more doable first thing in the morning. But I love the bit, about the momentum, because I know that Darren Hardy refers to that as a big more in the book. That's always kind of stuck with me. It's about the momentum, isn't it? It's about keeping it going, and that's where the system really, the one source system really works, because that's the whole point. It's just small things. It doesn't have to be really big things. So even if you can't do a big part of what you want to do, if you just do something, it just keeps that momentum going. And if you notice the momentum's lost, it's about just recognizing it and then doing what you can just to kind of get that back. I think that was one big thing that stuck through the book with me. It was just about big more, and I love the way that he kind of referred to that. But I've never seen the story of the magic penny either, but it really does get that message across, doesn't it? It's that tiny consistent actions, because we all think, what's the point? Oh, it won't matter if I do this, it won't matter if I don't do that today. But actually, yes, it will matter, and it does matter. So that's brilliant. A really good reminder, and a great book review as well, Shaun. It's always good to read books and share your reviews and your thoughts with others. So thanks for that.
Yeah, I was actually just gonna show everyone a doodle one I did, because I've got a doodle one which is about 70% there, so I might finish that one off as well and just send that one out, link to people to that one.
You'll need to. Your doodles are amazing. You need to send that.
I have to I blame Patrick on this. I invested in doodling, and I like playing around with it, and you can actually do so much with it as well.
Yeah, no, you're quite good at it, Shaun. You're much better at it than I am. You should spend a bit of time and improve your skills on that, because you probably could make some money, but you could definitely make some good videos out of it.
Yeah, no, that's why. But I didn't want to do that. I actually wanted to talk about this, because when I did it, I originally, I was just going to just give you the doodly video. We just play it, and I don't have to talk then, because that put me back in my comfort zone. But I'd rather do it this way now, and I will on the next time I do it, because if everyone's happy with this, I'd like to do this on a monthly basis. And I'm making commitment now. This is one of my 3 to do.
There you go.
I will do this on a monthly basis, because I've got like 5 or 6 book reviews already written up. I just need to actually turn into presentations, and I will be more precise and more prepared, because I have to admit, I literally did this presentation last night, because I decided not to do the doodly one, so I have to admit I had to do this.
We need your doodles as well. If you want to
do I will. What I want to do is I'll do doodly in halfway through, because the doodly ones are actually quite good and informative, and they put a little bit of emphasis on the actions you do as well. So I kind of like that.
Yeah,
I think that I did enjoy doing this, and I've got I can see I've gone red here, but I also can see I can only see the top part of my head, because there's something wrong with my camera today. It's just gone out of focus, which is nice.
The book review is a really good idea, Shaun, and it's really good, because I think a lot of us are reading maybe similar books or different books, but we all pick something different when we read them, don't we? In a kind of a book club and a book group, or
Oh, gorgeous!
Oh, that's it. I've been outstage now. Anima Flux in the house.
That's it.
I forgot she was there.
I make you Angie anyway, you know that.
Thanks. I'll take that.
Very nice, very nice. Well, no, look, I thought it was amazing, Shaun. Well done, and yeah, you'd be more than welcome to come in and do as many as you like. Yeah, I know you spend a lot of time, and you do a lot with. Every day you're sending out the little snippets of the personal development YouTube videos, and I know you spend a lot of time reading and researching and educating yourself on personal development. So yeah, I think that'd be great if you were to do that more. One thing, while I have everybody here, I want to make a quick announcement. I've said it before, but I want to say it again. If you could mark down in your diaries the 26th of April, I believe it's the 26th. It's whatever day that Tuesday is on that week.
26th, because that's the date I've been given to.
Yeah, Yeah, we're gonna have a special presenter. He's I would have talked about him before, but it's one of my clients that I've been working with for a while. He's a wealth coach. He's not a consultant. He's not involved with one source as far as on the business element at all. And quite frankly, because he just doesn't need to be. He's an extremely successful individual. Money is not this man's problem. He's a young guy. He's 35 years old. Uh, he's retired. He owns property all over London. He does wealth coaching, teaching people how to build up their wealth and how to go ahead and retire on their own terms. But he does this similar to why we do what we do. He's just very passionate about helping people get their finances under control. And I've been working with him for a while, as far as not myself, but he uses the one source system personally because he doesn't need it in the area of his finances, but he likes to use it to go ahead and for his relationships and his health and his own personal growth. And he thinks it's an amazing system, really passionate about it. So he's offered to come and do a talk for us. So I want to make sure we get as many people here as we can, because first off, because I respect him, and he was very good to go ahead and make the generous offer to come and do it for us. But he's full of knowledge. I mean, this guy is the real deal. So I guarantee you come and he'll talk in simplistic terms, and he'll answer your questions, and he'll give you some really good information where you could start from where you are right now, no matter where you are, and how you can get to the stage that you want to through simple things like compounding and so many more. But this guy's he's a genius when it comes to money. I can guarantee you that. Really nice guy too. So again, if you could all make a conscious effort and share it with your friends, try to get as many people here as we can, because again, this guy is he really is, he's the real deal. He's not a wannabe or anything like that. I know this guy firsthand. So look, other than that, Shaun, I want to thank you. You did a great presentation, and the good thing is too, we're getting back on track. You're on there about 40 minutes now. And this is originally, we were supposed to only be doing these for about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, but it's always my fault. I always say that I'm going to get them down to about 45 minutes. And when I start talking, I just tend to go on and on and on. I can't help myself. I love the sound of my own voice so much. And so I tend to go on way too long, and they stretch it out to about an hour. But that's good, because I want to get them back down to about 45 minutes. So look, everybody, have a great night. Thanks again, Shaun. And I'm sure, Shaun, you'll be around if anybody wants to contact you after. Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no problem.
All right, guys. Thanks for everything.
Thank you all. Take care.
All right, take care, everybody.
Thank you.